to go and support Romney. There isn't. It's just nobody actually goes out there and campaigns for Romney like Ron Paul has got campaigning from all of us and from donations and word of mouth. So it's disgusting to see the media just lie about all these numbers, and even the Federal Elections Committee. The FEC is not doing a very good job keeping Romney's numbers straight, and it's just more corporate whoring, basically, by the media and by all the other groups that are supposed to be watching out in these elections, making sure everyone is held to the same light of truth.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something else. This is how much I'm liked by the establishment around here. In January, when I voted for Ron Paul in the primary, I made a video, put it on YouTube. This is how you vote for Ron Paul in the primary. I voted absentee because I was working during the election. So I made a video before the election. This is how you vote for Ron Paul in the primary. From what I hear, somebody from another county called Cherokee County Election Board. They told my state senator told the South Carolina Attorney General, and the South Carolina Attorney General sent it to the, my district's solicitor's office. I got a letter back in May, 4 or 5 months later, that they weren't prosecuting me for violating the law. In South Carolina, you're not allowed to show anybody your ballot. That's the law. You're not, if my wife's next to me, I can't say, hey, come look at who I'm voting for. I can't not do that in South Carolina. That is a crime, and it's punishable, I believe, by a year in prison and $5,000 fine. And the letter said that they're not prosecuting, but don't do it again. And I believe the only reason that they didn't prosecute is because they knew there would be a bunch of Ron Paul supporters outside the courthouse trying to get me out, like they do all over the country. Ron Paul supporters get together like that. But this is how crazy it is. If I would have voted for the Grinch or Romney, it probably wouldn't have happened. But and it was probably a little embarrassing for the election commission to have somebody videotape their vote and them not see. I made sure I wore a big fat coat so I can videotape myself voting. But this is how it is around here. And the people that don't like John Major, they probably still don't like me, but they don't like him more. All this is making him look like an ass, and they're ready to get a new chairman. And I might end up running for chairman myself because reorganization is in March.
Yeah, for sure. I would run for it if I was you. I would try to get in to whatever political seat you could get in, so at least you could try to straighten things out. The chairman's pretty powerful, so I mean, you still have to have the people in there to at least put up resolutions and vote on stuff like that. But you're definitely working in the right direction to cleaning up the party, at least in South Carolina.
For precinct president and precinct county executive committee men, all you need to do is bring a few neighbors, 3 or 4 or 5 people with you, and you win. And then a month later, you'll have your county convention, and if you bring 10 or 15 people that will vote for you, depending on what size county, but I don't know, not very many people, you can win chairman or county executive committeeman. It doesn't take that many. It just takes us getting the word out, maybe even going through Campaign for Liberty and seeing who in your county is a member of Campaign for Liberty and saying, hey, buddy, come show up. Or if you have any college kids that live down the road from you, buy them a case of beer. Say, are you a voter? Come vote for me.
That's not a bad way to do it either. I mean, if Romney can do it with subs, why can't you do it with beer? At least there are American citizens that are going to be voting for you.
Right. Just make sure they're 21 or over.
Somebody, I think there's a rumor or something flying around that Ron Paul or somebody was going to be speaking here. Ron Paul is not going to be speaking here. So I don't know where this strange rumor came around that Ron Paul is going to be making an appearance. I don't think Ron Paul, like Doug Weed, does not know how to use Tiny Chat or anything like that. So nobody.
I know Doug Weed doesn't.
Right. I mean, Doug Weed had to have someone else in the room come set it up. He was very perplexed by this stuff. So, but yeah, did anyone have any questions for Brian? Otherwise, we can let Brian continue talking. I mean, he sounds like he's got a pretty good laundry list of everything that he's done, at least for Ron Paul.
Hey, Chuck Suter. There's a lot of people that don't like me. I am pretty abrasive. I say what I think. I mean what I say. But you don't want to lie to anybody. And sometimes I'm too truthful. Back when I was dating, and what girls say, "Do you think this makeup looks nice on me?" I'm like, no. But sometimes you got to tell the truth wherever you are, even if it hurts somebody's feelings. I mean, you don't have to be so abrasive like I am, but that's just what you do, and that's why I like Ron Paul so much. He has a way better and more elegant way of saying things than I do, and that's why I like him. But he definitely tells the truth. Ron Paul also got me involved in gold and silver. I never bought gold or silver until I found out about Ron Paul, about money, and got his book, had him sign my book. And a month and a half ago, I was a forklift driver at Dollar General Distribution. I've been thinking about 5 months to start my own gold buying and selling company, and I did. Right now, I own my own gold buying business called Fortress Precious Metals. I put the link up here. Hopefully, now it says don't spam on there, but I put my link up there. Hopefully, people click my link and like my page. And by the way, Obama did not start that, and Romney didn't either. And there's a few ways that they can bring you down, and one way is legislation, a lot of legislation in gold buying or regulation. And my place is in Spartanburg County, and I had to go through a lot of regulation through Sheriff's Department. I have to get a permit from the Sheriff's Department to be able to buy gold and silver. Is that crazy or what? In Greenville County is the same thing, and we have one place set up just like mine. It's three of us that got in a business together, and we're going to open up, by the end of the year, about 5 different gold buying places. And in Greenville County, we're being held up by the sheriff because he doesn't want to give us a permit right away. And we've been renting this place for about a month, and we still don't have a permit. But there's regulation and legislation, and I'm being held up by regulation right now. But Ron Paul got me started doing this. And if I fall flat on my face, at least I can say I tried, rather than keep on driving a forklift for Dollar General Distribution saying, what if all my life.
Now, are you going to be buying and selling actual physical gold or just like gold certificates?
No gold certificates. I want physical gold, and I want to put physical gold and silver in people's hands. That's money. I just trade fake money for real money.
That's the way to do it, I mean, at least you know that your purchase is actually probably gaining you money instead of actually losing money. When you buy debt, you're not buying debt with debt. You're actually buying an investment, an actual real currency with money. So
right. Yeah. When I buy gold and silver, I buy real money with fake money, and they're happy about it.
Somebody's asking down in the chat, what coin would you recommend?
A lot of people ask me that at work, and they ask me, should I get silver rounds or should I get silver eagles? And a lot of people trust silver eagles because it was minted in the United States. It was minted by the U.S. Treasury. I tell them silver rounds. That's my suggestion, because to me, an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. It doesn't matter who mints it. Even if it's a big, ugly clump of silver, it's still an ounce of silver. So I wouldn't pay the high premium on silver eagles. I would go with just silver rounds minted by Nevada Mint or U.S. AOCS or something like that. AOCS has some awesome Ron Paul rounds. And if you like my company page, you can call me tomorrow. My phone number is on the website. And if you send me a check or money, I can send you silver. You can buy it from me, and from me, I'll sell it to you for $250 over spot, which is pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, there's other people asking about if you can talk about pennies 1981 and earlier. Some people are saying go with the bars, but I have a feeling that the bars are probably a little bit more of an investment than the actual coins are in the rounds.
Oh, No, no, bars are even cheaper way than the rounds. They're not minted by the U.S. government. Bars are still silver. 1 ounce bar is same weight as 1 ounce round or 1 ounce American Eagle, and bars are actually cheaper to get. So Chris 80 is right. Go with bars if you just want silver.
So what would be the benefit of that then? There are, I mean, silver, isn't it? So why wouldn't more people just go with the bars instead of the coins or the rounds?
Well, depends on who you trust, whether you trust AOCS or you trust the U.S. Treasury, or you trust them the same. If you trust them the same, go with bars and rounds rather than the U.S. Treasury. But some people don't trust anybody else but the U.S. government, and they go with American Eagles.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting. I'm not.
Eagles are pretty, but in order for me to buy American Eagles from the United States Treasury, I have to buy a minimum of 25,000 Eagles at $2 over spot. So that's why there's a higher premium on Eagles, because whoever buys it has to pass it off to the customer.
Right, yeah, it costs quite a bit more for you to actually purchase something. I mean, there's not
I
very
mean,
many people that go in and invest $50,000 at a time.
oh, that's more than 50,000. That's about $900,000 to buy 25,000 Eagles at $2 over spot.
Right, but like what people like, what do you think your average investment is when someone comes in? Do you think that you have more just the small time people that come in with maybe 500, maybe two, $3,000, or do you have the large investors come in?
In the last 2 weeks, I had a purchase of about $2,500 and $1,500. And these are people that are members of the Republic. I don't know if you know anything about the Republic, but I'm friends with a lot of them, and they're buying up as much silver as they can right now because they believe the banks are going to be dropping off come October, November, and definitely after the election.
We don't have that much time left with Brian. Does anyone else has any questions for him?
Please like my Facebook page for my company. You don't have to like my page, but like my company Facebook page. That'll help me. When there's a Facebook page that has a lot of likes, it just looks better for the competition around me. And I do ship, Jason Johnson. Come to the end of the Fed, September 22nd in Charlotte. I will try my best, Chuck, and I've been to a few of those too, and they're pretty fun. And thank you, Evan. Evan Mulch is a guy in Spartanburg. He's a good friend of mine, and he tells me to stand up for liberty, and he's preaching to the choir because to me he's awesome at that, better than I am.
Brian, one last question. Somebody had for you, basically, they were wondering if you had any thoughts on Gary Johnson's fair tax.
Well, he doesn't say he supports a fair tax without saying we must get rid of the IRS first. And I agree with that 100%. In order to get the fair tax, which is closer to what all of us want, we have to get rid of the IRS first. And that's the way he says it, and I agree with him on it. He's headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement over the other two clowns that we have going. So
Yeah. So we got to get rid of the IRS to get the fair tax, and then we'll talk about the fair tax after that. And it's not fair and it's not right, but it's still better than the IRS. And most people don't realize how much we spend on filling out the bookkeeping for their IRS. We're slaves. We do their bookkeeping for them, and we don't get paid for that, but we do it. And some people spend $1,000 a year. You know, a family does. Last year, I spent about $400 because I got multi-level marketing things and business and stuff, and it costs a lot of money to do the IRS's bookkeeping for them, and we are slaves.
I agree with you, man. Brian, thank you for coming on. I'll have to have you back again. We can have you on for a whole hour sometime, and you can just talk about your business and investing and stuff. I think that people would really like to hear what you have to say. So I thank you for coming on. If you want, you can plug your website one more time before you take off, and we get the other Brian up here. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
You don't have to tell me twice. Thank you very much, man. I've been watching your videos for a while. You're pretty good. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good time, Brian.